I won't let this society get to me. I don't need to state that. I don't be mad. I do be frustrated 90% of the time. But it's like, I don't let it out on people. Sometimes I do like come across a little too hard, but it just be timing and all that. As long as I ain't no a-hole and I care and I apologize if necessary, which I don't come across to people that harshly, but sometimes I speak strongly, so it come off wrong. In any event, I make things known. If I'm frustrated, I'm probably gonna say it. If I don't feel like being bothered, I'm gonna make it known. I'm not one to pretend. Aside from the video I made before this, when I was talking about how the scriptures say a false balance is an abomination. This is aside from that. I'm not one to pretend. Because society, again, the word narrative, tells us that if a dude is bothered by something, the societal norms make it seem like he's soft. I've had people say I'm too sensitive, whatever. It's nothing wrong with that. At least I have feelings, period. I'm not going around moping and crying. If I feel some kind of way, I feel that way. Who I need to pretend for? Society? Ain't society corrupt? The narrative is all wrong, and people go along with it. That's the sad part. So my point is, I've noticed so many people subtly, I mean, they show it, but they don't say it. They need emotional support. And they don't speak it because they go along with the narrative. If something bothering them, they don't want to talk about it because they don't want to seem like they can't handle it. That don't mean that. So most people end up bottling stuff up, and they either corrupt their own mind or they end up snapping. I'd rather not do either one. America, bro. America. I'm gonna show something here. This is called a gold back. They made 250,000 of these. But it's the 250th anniversary of America. So we all know the Bible came out far beyond 250 years. My point for showing this, again, anybody could Google, but most people don't like doing research. So this proves America just reached the 250th anniversary. My phone always about to die when I start recording, but it just reached the 250th anniversary, right? So the scriptures came out a long time ago, way beyond 250 years. I already proved, you can see it in recent videos, that the term NWO, which is on a dollar bill, Novus Ordo, that was stated first. The first time that was stated was in 17 something. All I know is we sit and go along with the narratives. So many people need emotional support, so the majority want to be known, popular. They want to be glorified, embraced. They want to be reassured that there's somebody in a corrupt society, right? Again, I might be speaking a little hard. I got frustration in me, but I'm not mad. I'm just like, I be for real. That's it. I could go around people and talk normal, but right now I'm with me speaking to the masses, whoever might hear this. So just hear me when I say this. So, 250th anniversary of America, right? The scriptures was written before then. We talking Roman times, like the gladiators and all that. So, if you know, the Bible talks about the mark of the beast. All right? Now, it was no further back. It was between these 250 years that the first politician, let's say, mentioned
this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations.
So, the fact that we go along and we're trying to be known, money is the hot topic. It's whoever popular that really gets heard, that people pay attention to. Though we know shadow banning exists, the algorithms and all that only make the people popular who speak what they want them to speak. We see it every day. People be like, oh nah, I can't say that because the algorithm gonna cut me off. That's not no fabrication. We know how it go. When it's the easiest thing. When that came out, when people would mention it, whether it was a fact or they was just speculating, when they mentioned that word, the C word, what was the first thing that popped up? Oh, false information, basically. Most of the time, a lot of them people got cut off without the fact checkers even checking. They just heard that word and that was that. It's the same thing. But in a broader sense, they're just more subtle with it. When people don't speak what the narrative wants them to speak, they get shadow banned. There's a reason the word whistleblower is around. Either way though, my point is, we sit and go along with this society. People want to be known more than making sense. People will dumb themselves down so they can get some notoriety, so they can get noticed in this society. Meanwhile, the scriptures speak of the mark of the beast. The politicians say NWO. Is that not basically the same thing? Yet, we going along like robots. Most people is doing the same thing to get attention. So we're not really branching off, learning anything new. Like challenges. They see a challenge get popular. They like, oh, let me do this. Hoping they get attention for something loads of people already did. So it's like, I don't even really know why I'm saying this. I'm like just trying to make people aware, most of all. I already know where I stand. I'm just trying to figure out which way I'm gonna go in this society. I don't care to be important. I like to be heard because I really have things to say, as most people do. But I'm not saying what the majority is saying. I'm not trying to do what the majority is doing. No hate to them. If you want to follow people, do you. I'm not going to judge. I mean, it's not impressive. I'm not really intrigued by it, but whatever. All I know is I'm watching the majority do the same thing. Everybody, the majority, seem to need emotional support. They want to be popular in order to feel validated. Yet, we're repeating these cycles. It's like we're going to continue to repeat. Actually, we just might, most likely. I believe it's Matthew 13:36 through 45. If you read that, it speaks of the generational curses. How people speak things, especially those who are brought by God, and society basically shuns them. It said they repented at the preaching of Jonas, and behold, a greater than Jonas is here. That was Solomon. And they said they repented at the preaching of Solomon, and behold, a greater than Solomon here is here. In the last sentence, 45, it says, "In the last state of that man is worse than the first. So shall it be unto this wicked generation." Worse than the first. Worse than the generations beforehand. And the fact that we continually going along with the narrative of a corrupt society, and everybody only scream money and they want to be popular. It's kind of obvious that we're going to go through the same thing until they roll out the mark of the beast. And it wouldn't be a surprise if most people go along with that. So that's why I said it's like I'm just trying to figure out which way I'm gonna go in this society. Cause ain't too many people want to hear truth. They only want to hear what's comfortable to their ears. It's like it got to get critical for most people to hear something beneficial. It's nothing wrong with making a dollar and getting by, as most of us want to do. But it's the emotional support piece of it. Being that the majority goes along with the narrative, they don't speak what they feel. If they feel some turmoil inside, they don't speak it. So they rather go outside of themselves and beside themselves to feel validated by a corrupt society. I hope that makes sense. But the fact is, you can never be validated by something corrupt. Inwardly, I'm certain everybody knows this society is corrupt. If you're being validated by somebody who goes along with the society that is corrupt, you will know. This is why it's a rat race. It's a constant chase. It's not fulfilling. It's sad, bro. It's like, I don't even know if I'm making sense to the average person. I'm not all that great. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I'm speaking something that's not normally spoken. And being that we don't really branch out to get new branches of information and knowledge and things that's beneficial, this might sound foreign, which I understand if it does. But that's really the issue. And needless to say, what I mean by emotional support is, like right now, even before I was making this video, I like to sit alone. Do I like company? Yeah. If we're doing something constructive, really. I mean, unless it's like a partner. You know, I could sit with it. If I did have a girl or whatever, I could sit with her and we watch TV, whatever. But as far as, I don't need attention. I don't need company. I enjoy it at times, yeah. But it's like, ain't too many people who could sit alone, who are content on the inside. So they constantly chasing validation, which, if you not okay with you, can't nobody else make you okay with you. You're gonna always need that. But just know that you can't be validated ever by something that's corrupt. Even if you don't know it's corrupt, the minute you do, that validation is out the window. You're going to need more. And I don't know anyone who can live amongst this society and not find out that it's dysfunctional. So there's so many things wrong. Like, it's needing the emotional support without speaking it. Going along with a corrupt society. Living carefree, really. Putting popularity at the top. While the scriptures speak of the mark of the beast, we got the people who are in power out here speaking of the new world order. And it's like we bypass all that for popularity and money. I would like to see what $1 gonna do once they roll that out. So we gonna see, man. Because it's gonna get critical eventually. So I would say be thankful, be humble, and think about the children. Because if it don't happen in our lifetime, it's going to happen in theirs. And if we just going along trying to be popular, the center of attention, then imagine what they're going to have to encounter with no knowledge, not knowing nothing but being popular and getting $1. It's going to get real.